welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. This is a little cutting of a Willow Ficus that I have. It has definitely seen its better days. This one, I have two other cuttings too. I have one kind of like a normal cutting, you might call it. And then I also have a root cutting. The normal cutting, the root cutting actually look really good. It is mid-spring here in Florida. The mother tree is not looking all that good. Not sure what's wrong with the mother tree. This tree here, I've been kind of looking at it and thinking about what I could do with it. And I just kind of came across the repotting video of it from the last time, which was 3 years ago now. And I was absolutely shocked at how much it has grown. Like, how much thicker the trunk has gotten. Now, I usually don't have the patience to go through and watch an entire one of my old videos, but I did on this one just simply because I'm sitting there holding it, and in the video, literally when I'm holding it, it's just so small, and it's kind of hard to believe that it actually did that in this pot here, and I think it's just outgrown the pot, and that's why it just really doesn't look all that good. Not all that sure, but I guess we'll find out because I'm going to repot it and hope it does a lot better. I do like to leave some growing tips on these trees when I repot them, but this one already has just like a bit of dieback and stuff and everything. So what I'm going to do is just kind of cut it back a bit and take out a few unwanted twigs here and there, and then it should have plenty of growth just to kind of settle into the new pot. That's kind of what my point was there, is I leave the tips on the tree in the hopes that it'll push more roots right after the repot. Take the apex out just a little bit. Been chopping that for taper as time goes by anyway. Where I had cut it trying to get more movement that way, and you could see it was going to sprout another sprout right out of that one. I want the apex just to have a little movement. And then what I really like for it to do though is kind of come back and grow back towards the center part of the tree there. And I think before doing too much more, I think that's just all I'm going to do. And I'm just going to repot it from here and then allow it to recover, and then give it a little trim probably once it recovers. When I had first gotten set up for this, I had envisioned I was going to put this in a slightly larger, I have a training pot size that I buy a lot that's a little bit bigger than this one. That's actually what I was going to do with it, but I don't have any more. And then even then, I'm just about out of bonsai soil too. I really got to talk to my inventory manager and set him straight, but let's just go ahead and see what this looks like. I'm going to be able to get something together here though. Alright, before I do too much root pruning here, I just kind of show you that went back and watched that video, and I'll have that link in the description here from 3 years ago. I didn't watch the very end of it. I might want to watch the very end of it a little more, because I actually am under the impression, or actually I know from looking at this soil here, that this is back when I used to use the cheaper version of the soil that they sell at my local bonsai nursery. It's got turfus in it, and you can tell it was kind of breaking down some. But also just, from the 3 years ago when I was holding this thing, it was barely any size at all. I mean, it almost looks like maybe half this size. Had nothing like this coming off of it. And now, like you can see this big root here, and I think it's trying to act like the taproot kind of. And then comes here and wraps and comes all the way back up under the pot here this way. Or under the root ball that way. And then this side here doesn't quite go as dramatically, but you can see, how much roots it's got coming off there. And I do think that that was the main one coming out. And so I am gonna take most of that off. I was successful with the one root cutting from this plant. I might try to plop that in a pot, see what happens. Try to get the rest of this sorted out a little more than it is. And I'm going to hit what's left here with the garden hose, get some of that turfus off of there, and just give me a better look and see what I've got here before I do fully replant it here. Alright, so getting all that old turfus off there, definitely opened up a couple more roots I got to take out here. Was one coming out of here, coming straight down and curving onto the pot there that I did not see. I'm going to cut it right at the curve. And then this one, I'm just going to cut it off a little more, right up to there. And I'm going to do the same actually with this guy here. And the same with that guy there. And I think that should be good. It's amazing. This was, if you see this, oh, hopefully I've been holding that low enough so you guys can see some more than I just had it at there. But this scar tissue right there, this was actually cut right off the tree. That was the huge, it's the huge scar that I have on the mother plant. Still has not healed itself over, but amazed that this took to begin with. It's definitely had a rough life so far. Actually, I'd actually say up until this spring, it actually had looked really nice in that little training pot. Alright, so I think I've settled in on this one here. It's going to be a little bit wider for it. I do wish it was just a tad deeper, but I do think it'll be good for the health of the tree overall. Just have to kind of keep in mind that really should repot this a little more often than every 3 years. Of course, now I'm also going to use much better soil with it. This is actually a pot I had my root over skull in. Still have the screen and tie down in place from that after I held the little funeral. So should be able to make use of them. Those wires are pretty old and brittle, but I just started tying some of my trees in. I don't like them leaving them very long. By the end of this summer, I'll probably be clipping those off anyway. Alright, we'll come back and give this guy a quick visit once it's recovered. Alright, and here we are back. So exactly 3 weeks later, you can see it's recovering nicely. Really looking forward to see how the Nabari spreads out over time. Let's see. Just a couple little sprouts coming straight up off the branch. I like to take off. And decided to just put a little bit of wire on it, just to hold those branches down some. Should continue to fish out, look good through the summer.